I was a separated wife to the Prince of Wales. I was a problem, full stop. Never happened before. What do we do?
Fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother. Made lurid and false claims about the royal family.
Did Princess Diana's hidden diary expose the royal secrets that the palace tried to bury? Allegedly, the entries paint a haunting picture of King Charles's dark side, a side the world never knew existed. Watch closely as we reveal what could be the most shocking royal scandal ever. Hit that subscribe button. Imagine walking through the quiet, dust-filled halls of Kensington Palace, only to stumble upon a hidden chest marked with a single phrase, 4WH, after I'm gone. That's exactly what happened when Prince William, now 41, ventured into the palace's archival wing during a routine restoration project. The chest, no bigger than a carry-on bag, was tucked away among other crates marked, Private, Keep Sealed. The delicate cursive on the box was unmistakable. It was Diana's handwriting. William's heart pounded as he realized he was holding a piece of his late mother's secret past. With a mixture of excitement and dread, he called Joanna Hartwell, a seasoned royal historian who had known Diana personally.
Infectious enthusiasm and the energy that she had that really rubbed off on me for...
Joanna's breath caught when she saw the chest. Together, they gently pried it open. Inside were 4 deep blue leather-bound journals and a sealed envelope labeled, "Only open when the time feels right." William hesitated. He knew that opening those diaries meant stepping into his mother's most private thoughts, her personal story that was never meant to be shared. Yet the pull was too strong. He had to know. Why had Diana left these behind? What secrets were within those pages? What would you do if you found something your mother left behind, not knowing if it would heal or hurt you? Stay tuned as we dive deeper into Diana's heartfelt words, a side of the princess that the world never truly knew. The first diary opened with a simple yet powerful line, July 1st, 1980. If you're reading this, my darling boys, I hope you're old enough to understand why I wrote instead of screamed. Words don't break the silence, but they store it safely.
I'm not going to say anything. Wait. But Prince Charles did give us a hint himself.
William was captivated from the very first sentence. Diana's early entries revealed a young woman on the verge of becoming royalty, filled with uncertainty and longing for normalcy. She wrote about the pressure of fitting into the royal image, saying, "They say I'll make a perfect princess. I just hope I don't forget how to be Diana in the process." As William read, he could feel his mother's anxiety from those early days. A teenager thrust into the spotlight, desperately trying to find her footing. One particularly heartbreaking entry described her wedding day in 1981. Diana wrote, "Everyone saw the dress. No one saw my hands shaking." It wasn't just the public life that troubled her. In one entry from their honeymoon, she mentioned Charles spending hours sketching. She peeked over his shoulder, expecting to see a landscape. Instead, it was a face, not hers, but Camilla's.
I've had hands-on experiences before, but this working trip has been slightly different.
Diana's words weren't angry. They were simply resigned. He said he was practicing faces. I knew that face. That hair. It wasn't mine. William paused, the weight of his mother's quiet pain pressing down on him. Diana's heartbreak wasn't loud or furious. It was soft and constant, like a whisper that never stopped. What else could these diaries reveal? Was this just the beginning of a deeper story? A story of love, loss, and betrayal? As William continued to read, the tone of Diana's words shifted. By 1983, her optimism had faded, replaced by a more guarded and observant outlook. Say a royal smile can quiet a storm, but what if the storm is in the palace? She wrote.
I wouldn't mind your job. I'd be delighted. Try it any time they like.
Diana described moments when Charles seemed distant and disengaged. During one charity gala where she spoke passionately about children's health, Charles reportedly said, "People didn't come to hear you cry." Diana clarified, "I wasn't crying, I was passionate. There's a difference." One entry from 1984, shortly after Prince Harry's birth, revealed a chilling moment. He said, "It's a boy again." Then he left before Harry's second cry. Diana's words didn't convey anger, just a hollow sadness. "I thought we might be a family, but we became a portrait," she wrote. But it wasn't just the absence of affection. Diana noticed subtle signs of Charles' ongoing bond with Camilla. She wrote about how Charles' face lit up when reading her letters, how his demeanor softened just at the sight of the envelope. I hadn't even begun to speak when he said, "Don't start." I wasn't starting. I was just trying to understand.
I've been allowed to share your thoughts and dreams.
William couldn't help but feel his mother's pain, her struggle to hold on to a love that seemed destined to slip through her fingers. The diaries painted a picture not of jealousy, but of profound loneliness. What other hidden truths did Diana's words hold? Could these diaries reveal even more about the rift between her and Charles? The unexpected twist came in the form of a small velvet pouch tucked beneath the last diary. Inside was a cassette tape labeled in Diana's familiar handwriting. "Truth is not treason." William's pulse quickened. A cassette tape? Why would his mother leave a recorded message instead of just writing it down? The label alone was enough to send a chill down his spine. Was this a confession? A warning? Or perhaps a final plea for understanding?
I know that in the position I'm in, that's what's required of me to do, and I think...
With trembling hands, William placed the tape into a digitizer and pressed play. Diana's voice echoed through the room, soft yet unmistakably resolute. "If you're listening, I want you to know this. I never stopped loving him, but I stopped trusting him. And that's not the same thing." For a moment, William just sat there, eyes closed, letting the sound of his mother's voice wash over him. It was a voice he hadn't heard in years, and now it was speaking directly to him, as if she were right there in the room. Diana continued, her words punctuated by deep breaths and moments of silence. "They told me to smile, to wave, to look perfect, but no one ever asked if I was okay. No one ever asked what it felt like to be seen by the world, but invisible to the one person who mattered." William's heart sank. He could feel the weight of those words, the loneliness behind them. How had his mother endured such isolation without breaking?
Her service, her tolerance, her commitment to...
Diana's voice took on a more reflective tone. "I kept journals because the walls don't talk back. The pages don't tell you to stop crying. They don't tell you to get over it. They just listen." Then Diana spoke about Charles, but not in anger. There was no bitterness in her tone, just a quiet resignation. "He was charming, you know. He could light up a room with a single smile. But that smile was never for me. It was for her." William's breath caught. Her, Camilla, the unspoken name that had haunted his parents' marriage. But Diana didn't dwell on it. Instead, she shifted to her children. "William, Harry, if you're listening, I want you to know that you were the only true happiness I ever had. Your laughter was my lifeline. Your hugs were my anchor." Her voice wavered, and William could hear her struggling to hold back tears.
That the new bridge will strengthen the links between the north and the south sides.
They wanted us to look perfect, but we weren't. We were complicated, and that scared them more than any scandal. But that's what love is. Complicated, messy, imperfect. Then came the part that shook William to his core. "I recorded this because one day the truth will come out. And when it does, I want you to know that I tried. I tried to keep our family together. I tried to be the perfect wife, the perfect princess, but I couldn't be what they wanted without losing myself." A long pause followed, the silence heavy and suffocating. Then Diana spoke again, her voice steadier, more resolute. "I don't ask for forgiveness. I don't ask for pity. I just ask that you remember me as I was, not as they wanted me to be, but as I truly was." William pressed the pause button, his hands shaking. He couldn't listen any further. The pain in his mother's voice was too raw, too real.
Disasters are not going to stop happening, so there will always be problems.
It was as though Diana had been speaking directly to him, not to the world, but to her son, the boy who had watched her suffer without fully understanding why. What else could be on this tape? Were there more revelations? More confessions? And what did Diana mean by "when the truth comes out"? Was she expecting this recording to be found? Or was it meant to remain a secret forever? The questions swirled in William's mind, each one more haunting than the last. This was more than just a recording. It was a bridge between the past and the present, connection to a mother who had been silenced too soon. The story didn't end with the diaries. News broke that someone had leaked Diana's words online, and the world couldn't look away. The hashtag #the Diana Diaries trended, and everyone from historians to royal experts weighed in on what this meant for the monarchy. William, caught in a whirlwind of media frenzy, knew he had to protect his mother's legacy. He announced the creation of the Diana Archive Initiative, a digital library to preserve Diana's authentic voice, away from tabloids and rumors. If you believe Diana's legacy deserves to be honored, make sure to subscribe for more insights into the untold stories of the royals.